Okay, we are recording for the final time this season. Welcome to the season finale of the DJ Bagpuss Show.
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
How you doing? Welcome to this brand new series. Welcome to episode 2 of the DJ Bagpuss Show, and welcome to episode 3 of the DJ Bagpuss. Episode 4. Can you believe it has been episode 5 of the DJ Bagpuss? Episode 6 of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Episode 7 of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Okay, we are recording. This is the last episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Wow, this suddenly feels very, very emotional. I mean, maybe not for you. You're probably going to be sitting there on, I don't know, computer screen, laptop screen, Xbox screen, you know, iOS, Android screen, whatever format you watch the DJ Bagpuss Show, and think to yourself, yeah, it's over. Thank God for that. It is finally over. It is finally drawing to a close. You know, you might be jumping for joy, you might be, celebrating the fact that the season's over, but yeah, it's a sad time. It's the last episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Wow, it's been a journey. Let's just say that it has been a journey. 10 episodes. This is episode 10 of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Does that not scare you? Because it absolutely astounds me to the point of that we've done 10 of these podcasts. I mean, I remember it felt like yesterday that I was literally sitting over there, right where the computer is recording this episode right now, literally with no face cam, just me and the microphone and the digital audio workstation project that I was recording the first episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show. That was 3 months ago, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself, let's see how far this goes. I want to do 10 episodes to start a season, but let's just see how it goes. 3 months later, we're standing here, well, not standing here because I'm sitting here, but we're sitting here 3 months down the line with 10 episodes under our belt and a staggering 1,410 of you, because I counted up all of the views during the planning of this week's episode, and 1,410 of you have watched the DJ Bagpuss Show. That is every single view from episode 1 to episode 9. Yeah, episode 9, so excluding this episode because this is going to be out next Friday of the day that I'm actually recording this. But yeah, it's been absolutely staggering. 10 episodes, and we've done a lot in these 10 episodes. And 10 episodes doesn't really seem like a lot. 10 episodes kind of goes quite quickly, and it certainly has. We've done a lot in those 10 episodes, like, for sure. There's been a lot of stuff covered on the DJ Bagpuss Show. So, season finale today. When I was thinking of doing the DJ Bagpuss Show and kind of getting to this point, I thought there was only going to be one real major topic to cover, really, at the end of a series, because we've done a lot of stuff. But something which I haven't really spoke about in great length is actually talking about how my life has changed since becoming a YouTuber. I briefly spoke about it in episode 2 when I talked about the transition from my very first recording to the first recording of episode 2, and kind of talking about like the problems that I encountered setting up YouTube, and kind of talking about how I didn't think it was going to take off in the way that it did. So, I think that I briefly spoke about that in episode 2 of the DJ Bagpuss Show, and I also spoke about it, not in a way, but talking about just the support in general in my 1,000 views special video that I did about a month ago. But I've never really spoke about it in great length, on a podcast, and a podcast is the place to have a lengthy and kind of intellectual discussion most of the time anyway. So I thought that kind of be a great way to end the series, is kind of to have time where it's just me and you, because over the last 2 weeks we've had guests on, and we haven't really had a heart-to-heart really for about a month. Really, the last heart-to-heart that we had was the bullying episode that I did, and that was kind of coming up to 3 weeks ago. So we're back now. It's just me and you, and I think it'd be a great time to reflect and look back on not just the series in general, but looking at just how my life has changed as a YouTuber. So kind of talking about my YouTube life, you know, how it's taken off, kind of talk about the past, the present, talk about like my favourite moments, how I got into YouTube, how I plan to set up YouTube videos, talking about how it makes me feel, you know, and just briefly kind of giving a final evaluation of it, you know, talking about the guests that I've had on, talking about kind of the different variations of videos that I've done, and finally giving you guys a voice, because without you guys I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I think it was kind of, I was kind of in hesitance of what I was going to call this video, but I think I'm just going to call it my YouTube life, because that is really what today's episode is going to be about, talking about my YouTube life. Also, just to let you know that at the time you're watching this right now, the entire season of the DJ Bagpuss Show is available on my channel. I'm going to create a playlist, call it the DJ Bagpuss Show, and put in that playlist every single episode from start to finish. So forget Orange is the New Black, forget 13 Reasons Why, forget any shows on Netflix. You can binge watch the entire season of the DJ Bagpuss Show from start to finish. You can do it in a weekend, you can do it in a day, you can spend the whole of summer while you're waiting for content to arrive on my channel, because I've got a lot of exciting stuff that is going to be coming up to you this summer, which I'm going to be talking about later on in the video. While you're waiting for new content to be dished out on my channel, you can sit and binge watch the entire season, whether it will be your first time watching it or going back to watch your favourite moments. So yeah, forget Netflix, you can DJ Bagpuss Flicks the entire season. It's going to be available on my channel. Every single episode is going to be down in the description below, and this is your episode as well. I want you guys to get involved, so leave your comments, questions, views, queries in the comment section below. Tell me your favourite moment of the series, and tell me something that you want to see on the future of my YouTube channel. And very, very excitingly, it's back. It's been away for 5 episodes, but today, Q&A with the DJ is back. We're going to end the series on Q&A with the DJ, and the Q&A with the DJ is quite a special one, because I wanted to get my fans' feedback and thoughts on the season. Rather than waiting for anything to come out in the comment section below, I wanted to answer and set up really like a dialogue between you guys and myself, which I think I have done throughout the course of the DJ Bagpuss Show, but I kind of want to do it in more of like down to specifically of what was your favourite moment on the series and on my YouTube channel, and giving me a suggestion of what you want to see in the future. And I've got 5 lucky viewers, and these 5 have been with the show since day one. I've watched every single episode, and they're kind of the most loyal people who are part of my family. I mean, every single one of you are loyal and dedicated, and I'll give it, you're all giving me the chance to have my dream job essentially, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But these 5 have given me thoughts and feedback along the way, and kind of have helped me to grow into a better YouTuber as a person. At least, I mean, you might not think I'm a very good YouTuber, but for myself, I definitely think I've grown and adapted into someone that was from the point of basically, dog poo on your shoe YouTuber to, yeah, he's not too bad. So that is how we're going to end the series as well. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed the series just as a whole, or you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, so you don't miss out on a very exciting summer ahead on DJ Bagpuss's YouTube channel. And also, don't forget, follow me on Twitter at DJ Bagpuss1998, the best place to get all your information needed for my YouTube channel, and also to take snippets into the daily of my day-to-day life. And you can do that. I post loads of stuff on my Twitter, and also keep everyone up to date with what's happening on my YouTube channel. And also get involved with the series. You can tweet me anything you'd like to see in the future of DJ Bagpuss by using the hashtag DJ Bagpuss Show, capital D, capital B, capital S. And also use my other hashtag, Bagpuss Uncut, capital B, capital U, which is making a comeback this summer. So yeah, this is going to be hopefully really exciting and enjoyable, and I just want to say once again thank you to every single one of you that have clicked on and followed the series, whether you've watched 2 seconds or 2 hours or 2 days of my YouTube channel. Every single one of you that have clicked onto the channel means the absolute world to me, so thank you so much for that. However, we're going to start, bloody 9 minutes for an introduction. That's probably a new one even on my level. We're going to start by talking about the future of the DJ Bagpuss Show, because this is the last episode in the season today, and probably a question that is pondering in all of your heads right now is, what's next for the DJ Bagpuss Show? Is this going to be the moment where I announce there's going to be no other episodes of the DJ Bagpuss Show? Is this the end of my podcast on my channel? Or is this the end of the DJ Bagpuss Show just for definitely? And the short answer to this is hell no, it is not. The DJ Bagpuss Show is returning. This is literally season 1, and there's going to be a season 2 coming back in the fall of 2017. Now, I'm not just stopping the DJ Bagpuss Show because I'm running out of complete and utter ideas, although, no, I'm not. I could literally do another 30 of these podcasts. However, there is a couple of things that need to be taken into consideration, and a couple of different avenues and roads that I kind of want to focus down and move myself down. So, I always feel like you might care to disagree with me on this, but I kind of think to myself that I'm quite an honest YouTuber. Like, obviously I don't share with you my day-to-day life and personal stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I keep hidden away from the camera. However, when I am on camera and when I'm talking about anything related to the video in question, I feel like I'm very honest and I don't shy away from anything, even though in moments that can be potentially quite difficult to do. But I always feel like I'm 100% honest with you, and you know exactly what is happening on this YouTube channel, because we're creating a dialogue here. You're part of the DJ Bagpuss family. Every single one of you that have subscribed to the channel are members of the family, and even people that have just watched the DJ Bagpuss Show are in the family in some kind of varied way. So, I want to be as honest and open with my family as possible. So I feel like I have done that, particularly over the last 3 months. So I want to do that again. So I'm going to tell you kind of what is on the horizon for the next season of the DJ Bagpuss Show, and then you know exactly what's going to happen. You know when it's going to be coming back, and also you could potentially help me to get in these thoughts into actions, really. So the main reason why I'm stopping the DJ Bagpuss Show is because we're saying goodbye to this studio, basically. Today, the day of I'm recording this, is the last day of coursework and getting all my college work sent off to the examiner. I then have 3 more weeks here, so in the next few weeks we're going to be rounding off kind of the DJ Bagpuss Show, not doing any more podcasts, but kind of doing bonus content towards that. And then I leave, and I don't just leave college, but I leave education forever. This is literally the end of my education. I spoke about it in episode 6, my school days, and we're right at the end now. We're at the tail end of education. So because of this, it means that we're saying goodbye to this studio. And I always I don't know about you guys, but I always feel there's quite a distinguished tone from the DJ Bagpuss Show to any of my other videos, because I've done other stuff as well as the DJ Bagpuss Show, which you guys have really seemed to enjoy. However, the DJ Bagpuss Show is quite unique because it's always recorded in these 4 walls in a studio with a microphone, and it has this professional feel to it, and I don't really want to lose that. I want the DJ Bagpuss Show to be quite unique. So we're losing this studio, so it means that I have to find myself a new location. Now, I can record the DJ Bagpuss Show at home. I am in the process of creating a new studio at my home. This is going to be for some new videos that are going to be coming to you this summer and going into later into 2017. But I kind of want the DJ Bagpuss Show to be in a professional studio. I want it to still have this tone of professionalism, and having microphones and cameras and being linked to proper computer software that records, and has the data to record podcasts. So I kind of need to find myself a brand new studio, and that is kind of going to be my mission over the summer. So that's kind of the first kind of major bearing. The second one is kind of more of a personal change for me, because now the DJ Bagpuss Show, and I think one of the reasons why this worked, and I'll come on to this later on in the video, is because it's very unique. Like the DJ Bagpuss Show, you can't find anywhere else on YouTube. Yes, you can find lots of different podcasts, but the DJ Bagpuss Show is unique to my channel because this season has been talking about my life. Like there's lots of people out there that don't know me. Like there are people on the channel who know me as a friend and family members, but this is kind of just a small portion of the wide audience of my YouTube channel. There's a lot of you out there that don't actually know me as a person, and if you watch from episode 1 to episode, to this episode now of the DJ Bagpuss Show, then you can now build a bit of a picture up about me without even ever having to even speak to me. But there's only so much really you can talk about. Like I feel like, and I'm trying the best way to word this. Like I've spoken about my love for music. That was the very first episode. I spoke about my love for music. I then spoke about my love for music, but to a specific genre. So we talked about Clubland and remixing on YouTube. We then got in a guest, Ben Gurney, to speak about his life in the music industry for the last 25 years. I then went on to talk about movies. So we talked about how my love for movies began. We reviewed some movies as well. We then went on to talk about my love for video games, so how my love for video games began. We then turned it into specifically talking about how Call of Duty and FIFA changed the face of gaming forever, before having an Ultimate Call of Duty quiz at the end of episode 5. We then went on to talk about my school days, so there was one episode being positive, talked about my school days in a positive manner, and then talked about my bullying story in kind of a negative manner. By the way, that was the worst episode I've ever done. I absolutely hated that episode. And then we went on to talk about football, so I got a guest in, Ashley Harris, and we had the Premier League season review, 2016-2017. And obviously in the most recent episode, the penultimate episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show, I got 3 of my mates on, Luke Bonner, Adam White and Christopher O'Bray, and we played some extreme and funny games in the other side of the studio, just because I wanted to kind of play some funny and kind of extreme R-rated games, really. So, and now we're talking about my YouTube life. I could do 30, 40 more podcasts talking about kind of different moments in my life. There's still a lot to cover, but I feel like I don't want to get to a point where I'm starting to basically do podcasts just because I need to get out a podcast. Like YouTube is brilliant as a job because you are your own boss, and it gives you the means to create content that you enjoy, that you believe your audience is going to see. And for me, I always want to get my content and anything that I put out on my YouTube channel to a good level. Like I want to get my content out to a strong level, something that I would enjoy watching as kind of a person, because I just love watching YouTube anyway as an entertainment format. But I like always to get out my content to a very good level. So if I did, even if I had the studio for another 3-4 months, if I did 20 more podcasts, I am very kind of hesitant that the level would start to drip, would start to drop and fall down really, and that is something that I don't really want to do, and I don't really want to get into a position where I'm just putting out podcasts because I need to put out a new video. I want to do videos that I enjoy making, and I feel like you are going to enjoy, that are exciting and keep you entertained first and foremost. Like that's kind of the major, huge kind of thing that you need to have on YouTube, is you need to entertain people. You're an entertainer first and foremost. So you need to entertain your audience who are waiting to have good content to watch. So I want to take the DJ Bagpuss Show in a slightly different direction. Now, meaning this is that although I will still like to talk about myself, because you guys really enjoy hearing personal stories of mine, I kind of want to get into a stage where I'm bringing on people, real life people, every other week. So a potential idea we could have is that we have one week where we're just talking about my personal story and like a subject matter that's happened to me that has affected my life, or something that's happened to me that was funny, sad, moving, whatever the feeling, even if it's a positive or negative feel, have a week where we're talking about that. I then want to get kind of real life people on who have got real life human stories that are interesting, whether they're dramatic, tragic, funny, and just to get people who have had amazing moments in their life or had moments of horror and dread, and explain their story. So like it's, say if they've been in prison or nearly faced death or something that is worthy of doing a podcast. I mean, quick reference, I absolutely love the True Geordie podcast, and I mean he gets on YouTubers to explain the stories, but he gets actually real life people to talk about kind of just lots of different things, like stories that he thinks will interest his audience and stuff that is relevant to what is happening out there today. And I think that's a really good format, and I'd like to do a bit of what my unique podcasts are and keep that because you guys enjoy this unique kind of podcast that we do, but also bring on real life people, like people in my area or people that have lived exciting lives, and kind of get them to tell a story that keeps you interested. So we kind of have a bit of a different path. So we could do 10 more of like these type of podcasts, and also then do 10 of like real life people. So we're constantly doing new and exciting things, and me as a YouTuber, my ultimate goal is to just continue to expand, grow, adapt, develop, all of these different things to bring me up to a better YouTuber. So that is kind of the second point that I want to go down. And thirdly, I also want to get myself a co-host. Now, I love doing these podcasts. I mean, you know me, I can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, I could do a podcast for probably 5 hours and just keep talking and talking and talking. However, having a co-host will also allow me to share stories of either him or her, whoever this co-host is going to be, and kind of, even though it's still going to be the DJ Bagpuss Show, to have someone that I can bounce off and set up a debate, because I love the episodes that we've had where we've had guests on where I'm bouncing off people, because like it isn't as easy as you may think of turning on a camera and just talking for an hour and a half. I just have a knack for talking for an hour and a half, but like it isn't as easy as you may think. Like, a lot of people really struggle to do what I'm doing, but so like I just want to try and do new things on the podcast. Is kind of where I'm just kind of evaluating and rounding off all of these kind of individual points that I've made. And I want the DJ Bagpuss Show Season 2 to have similarities and traits of Season 1 that have made its name, but also go in kind of a slightly different direction. I mean, if those plans, cease to happen, then I will continue doing this because you guys really seem to enjoy it. But I feel like, I need to be bold and brave, trying new things. Like every podcast that I've done is different. Like we've spoke about something completely different every single week, and this form of doing new and invigorating stuff has kept you guys interested in the series. So that's kind of what I want to do, and I've got all of summer to kind of get the wheels in motion, and I kind of know exactly how I'm going to do that. And then if it doesn't happen, then we will just continue to do these podcasts, when I come back later on in the year. And it also means this break will allow me to talk about stuff that is happening right now. So I could talk about what happened this summer, and kind of, it just gives me time to regroup and go again. I mean, I literally, when I first planned out the DJ Bagpuss Show, I actually planned out 50 podcasts, and I got them down to the best 10. So, at this moment, I've got so many ideas, but I feel like with my channel, it's quality over quantity, which is always the major thing. Which, lots of YouTubers like to put out a video every single day, and that isn't a bad thing, if they're doing well and they've got an audience. And there are some people out there that literally, whatever they post, millions and millions of people will watch them. But I think the way that I like to work is I like to have quality over quantity, and I like to do videos that are kind of stuff that I would enjoy watching, and stuff that I know that you guys are going to be watching as well. So that is kind of the future of the DJ Bagpuss Show. I'm planning, and the date that I've got written down here is that the DJ Bagpuss Show will be returning the first week of October. So that means that this summer we've got all of July, August and September. So we've got 3 months of content. Now what you're going to be seeing over these next 3 months is you're going to be seeing kind of me going into a more laid back and transitional stage. I love doing podcasts, but I've also found that I really enjoy doing real life videos, real life football video. I mean, the football video that I recently did, which was an extreme penalty shootout with extreme forfeits, has hit 100 views on the opening day, more or less. So I kind of want to do more videos like that. I want to do vlogs. I want to do kind of short discussions, and I just want it because it's going to be summer, and I kind of want to put my channel in a summer feel and kind of go venture into other avenues as well, because I think the more stuff you can do, the better your channel becomes, but you always have to have that unique standpoint to kickstart your YouTube channel. And I feel like for me, there isn't one thing that I love more. I love doing vlogs just as much as I love doing these podcasts. The idea, this is my own format and this is my show, it's kind of amazing. But I also really enjoy doing vlogs and real life videos and other stuff like that, funny stuff, creative stuff, strong stuff, and all of that, good stuff really. So that's what you're going to be seeing over the next couple of months, and I've got lots of ideas. I mean, literally I've got videos planned out till the first week of October. So I really hope that you enjoy that content, and it also means when the DJ Bagpuss Show does come back in October, that you will enjoy it, because you will be looking forward to the season as we build up to whatever that's going to be. Whatever the second season of the DJ Bagpuss Show is going to be, it's something that you'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to reveal what that is going to be until we actually get our first recording session underway. So yeah, that is going to be really interesting to see what is going to be in the future of the DJ Bagpuss Show Season 2. You kind of know what potentially it could be, but what it actually is going to be a different story. So if anything that you desperately want to see in the next season of the DJ Bagpuss Show, then obviously, as I said right at the start of the video, go on to my Twitter page, tweet me, contact me through my business email, which you can see on my About page, and also leave any thoughts and ideas down in the comment section below as well. I need a drink because it is so hot in the studio. This weather has been an absolute joke recently. It's so warm. So I've discussed the future of my the DJ Bagpuss Show and my YouTube channel. Let's now go back to the past and let's talk about how this actually happened, because this is going to sound really cheesy. I'm trying not to be cheesy this episode, but when I started this, and I've probably said this before, but I will say it again, I did not think that I was going to be doing this 3 months later. I generally thought that this was going to be tests, maybe 10 views here or there, maybe 10 subscribers, and then the more podcasts you do, the more people start to lose interest, and then your channel starts to die before it's even begun. Because I was thinking to myself, YouTube is there's so many people out there on YouTube, and if the later that you start YouTube, the harder it is to get noticed. You've got to do something very unique. You've got to do something that is going to constantly make people want to click onto a video, something that is different. I mean, there's so many podcasts out there, and there are so many kind of gaming videos, but you got to do something that cannot be seen anywhere else. And I generally just didn't believe I was going to be very good at this. I don't know why. I do believe that now, but I had this feeling that this wasn't going to be any good. No one was really going to care. I thought it was literally just going to be a couple of friends and maybe family, here or there watching. I didn't, compensate the idea that this actually could take off in the way that it did. It kind of was funny of how it actually came about. I can't actually remember if I've told you this story before. Actually, I might have done early on, but basically, I was on the second year of my course, and it kind of is quite relative to my college course, because I came into this course, this music technology course. I'd never ever touched any kind of edits. I'd done one edit project on iMovie in media studies in school, where I had to bring together an anti-bullying film, but these were literally just like the basic. I mean, iMovie is pretty basic, but like the really basic stuff, like just throwing a movie together, adding text on the top, and then importing it out. There wasn't really a lot I needed to do there. Considering what I do now on iMovie, it's kind of, I'm quite advanced in that category. But I came into this not really, like, basically thinking I was bottom of the class, really. I thought everyone is going to be 10 times better than me, and there was not a hope in hell's chance that I'm going to do very well at all. This was, like, as I said, I was reading it and I thought, this actually sounds like something that I'm interested in. I love music, films, video games, and I love the kind of technical side of all of that, so let's give this a go. But as I said, I got a really good grade last year and kind of worked basically my arse off from the bottom to the top. And this year, I was kind of thinking that I now want to go into radio DJing, presenting, which was a dream that I had since school, as you know, as I spoke about in episode 6 of the DJ Bagpuss Show. But this is exactly what I wanted, and I was kind of getting ready to see what road do I need to go down to open up this door. And I was speaking to my college lecturer Ben Gurney, who we will come on to as well in this episode, and he was basically telling me to start doing demos. We've got all of the facilities that you need on location, here at this college, and this meant that I had all of the equipment at the touch of a button. So now what I needed to do is I needed to start actually recording and doing practice runs of me presenting, literally what I'm doing right now. Because obviously, if you go for a job to become a radio DJ or a presenter or any kind of that brand, first question they're going to ask is, are you any good? And you're literally going to be sitting there like, oh, yeah, I am good. Cool, yeah, I'm good. I mean, you're not just going to sit there and think, are you any good? No, I'm not really. I don't really want this job. I'm not really good. You're not going to say that. If you're going for a job, you believe that you're going to be good at it, obviously, like anyone does. And if they don't believe that, then that they shouldn't really be going for the job in the first place. But I said as a very kind of funny joke, and this was literally me just laughing about it, and I said, this was going to be used as a portfolio to show employers, of how well I actually was. But I said to Ben, why don't I share this on YouTube? Like, share these demos of me talking, which basically were going to be podcasts. Why don't I share these podcasts on YouTube? Because worst case scenario is that a couple of friends and family, like I thought was going to happen, would watch it and then it would die down, or something could take off, which luckily the latter has happened of that. And he said, yeah. And I was like, sorry, what did you say? Did you just say yes? Did you say yes for me to start YouTube? And he said, yeah, why not? We've got the equipment, you can set up a YouTube account, you can upload it onto there, and that's it. That's fine, you can easily do that. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, let's start it. And this was literally, I'd say, late January, and I did my first recording session right at the end of February. So you'll know I planned for about a month planning out the series, and then actually got to recording it. All the problems as well that I had, I spoke about in episode 2 of the DJ Bagpuss Show, and kind of really, the planning stage is something which is actually really, really vital. I spoke about exactly how I planned it, but like the typical day in the life of a YouTuber for me is that, and something that I've kind of learned further doing this, is that planning and preparation actually is key. really. It actually kind of is quite important. Now, some of you out there might be thinking that I literally come into the studio, set up all the equipment, and then turn on the camera and talk for an hour and a half. No. I mean, I'm good at speaking, but I'm not that good. I couldn't do a podcast for an hour and a half talking without actually, like, with nothing, like no planning, no setup, you know, and just whatever is on my mind right now, that is what I say. The only exception to this was the bullying episode, because I knew I was just speaking about my life as bullying, and even then I wrote down like 2 bullet points that I wanted to cover in the episode. But normally what happens, and I'm going to share with you a little secret, is that I spend the week planning out the episodes. So this piece of paper here, you might notice, right, that on a couple of occasions I might do this, to briefly have a quick look at something. Now you might be thinking I'm just staring into space or trying to think about what I'm going to say next, but actually I have little bullet points scattered on this piece of paper that are in order, in chronological order of how I want the episode to go. So what I normally do is, it's either normally a Wednesday or Thursday, the day before I'm actually going to do the podcast. I know what the podcast is going to be about, so with the YouTube, I knew I wanted to talk about my YouTube life. So what I literally did last night is I planned out the points that I was going to say on the podcast, and then during the actual podcast I can look down and just remember what I'm going to say. So it's all spontaneous, like what I'm saying right now is spontaneous, which I think is the best podcast you can get of them being spontaneous. But it literally, like this bullet point says, talk about how I plan to set up YouTube videos. So that is literally just what I'm talking about right now. So it kind of just tells my brain, right, this is what I'm going to talk about. Now you need to get all the additional points and details about that point. And it kind of just really helps to, like, no one wants to watch a podcast where I'm literally sitting here and going, so, like, you would turn off instantly. I mean, you might turn off already, but, like, incidentally, no one would be watching that. So it just gives, you know, my brain an idea of kind of what the points I want to cover. Because, I mean, like, if that was the case and I passed every single GCSE subject, like, with an A, if I could, like, instantly remember every little part, you know. We're only human beings, our brains can only do so much, so it kind of really does help me. And it also means that, like, I don't have any problems recording. I mean, I'm not camera shy. There's a couple of people out there that couldn't even dream about just looking at a camera and talking to it. But for me, like, having that plan here and knowing how I'm going to set up just means it's very relaxed. I'm not stressed. I'm not nervous. I was in the early days, like the very first episode I did, and even episode 2, I was quite hesitant and nervous. But the more podcasts I've done, that feeling has just subsided. Like, I don't have any stress. I don't feel nervous. It literally is a really relaxing kind of. This part of the job is actually the most relaxing stage. So, like, and I'm also going to be, before we go on to Q&A with the DJ, give you guys advice out there, because surely there must be someone watching this right now who wants to get into YouTube. I mean, I was literally in that position for about 2-3 years. I was watching YouTubers and thinking, I'd love to have a go at that. I've always enjoyed speaking. I'm quite confident as a person. I'd love to do something like that. And, you know, here we are now. So, like, you know, I'm going to be giving advice as well just before we go on to Q&A with the DJ. But, like, with YouTube, and it is again a very unique job, is that I'm my own boss, incidentally. I basically am responsible for anything on this channel. You know, I'm producing the content, I'm editing the content, I'm putting out campaigns on social media to bring more people to the channel, and, you know, most importantly, I'm kind of collaborating with different YouTubers as well. So it is all on my own part, which is great. Like, you know, there are so many jobs out there that are strenuous, that are I mean, YouTube is quite a demanding job, but, like, the stress and you being basically browbeaten by a boss, like, you know, there are so many jobs out there that have that, where for me, I am my own boss. You know, I make my own rules, but it also means I have to be very, very disciplined. Like, you know, I'm not just sitting here, mucking around on a camera. There's been a lot of detail, a lot of kind of thoughts going into these videos, planning, preparation, and a lot of time is devoted to get my YouTube videos up to a level that I deem acceptable. Something that one of my favourite YouTubers, my favourite YouTuber, I've got lots of favourite YouTubers, but Chris MD, as I said earlier, he uploads infrequently, but every single video he does is up to a really good standard, and I like that idea more. I love the idea that kind of doing kind of 2-3 videos a week rather than doing a video every other day means that the quality of the videos is enhanced, because the more time you put into a video, the better naturally the video is going to be. But the reason why I'm literally sitting here right now talking to you guys and I'm nowhere near at a level where I should be giving out advice, but considering where we are now for the YouTube channel, there is potential that this could become my career. And I'm not just saying that, I wouldn't be saying that unless I generally believed that was going to happen. Because we are now at a position where I've got a small fan base, but a fan base that is continually coming back every single week to watch YouTube video. That's not just made me more confident as a person, but that's made me believe that because I've got people coming back week on week to watch my YouTube channel, I must be doing something right. I must be, otherwise people wouldn't be watching at this stage. And literally, I never ever contemplated even the slightest or smallest of this taking off. Case in point, as I said, I generally believe that this was just going to be friends and family watching this, and it was going to be maybe 10-20 views per video, really. And generally, in terms of subscribers, I was sitting there and thought, right, I've got all my mates subscribed to my channel. I've created a fake account for, I don't know, Mr. Bob Jackson, and I've now got 5 subscribers. If I can get 5 people to subscribe and get up to 10 subscribers, that will be amazing. The milestones when you hit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, which I'm currently on right now, that generally kind of makes you, every single milestone feels just that little bit more special. I can imagine once you get to 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million, every time it feels just that little bit more special. But for me, considering that I didn't think I'd get past 10 subscribers and 10 views, where we are right now, let me put it in your shoes. If you were in my position and you could see these statistics, would it make you believe that there is potential for something to take off? I've got out my phone. So the channel has had 1,716 lifetime views. We're on 76 subscribers, and we've had a global audience. So we've had people in United Kingdom, United States, Russia, Indonesia, Mexico, South Africa, Switzerland, Tanzania, Sweden, Thailand, Nigeria, Vietnam, Italy, Malaysia, Australia, Kenya, Ireland, Slovakia, Denmark, Cayman Islands, Germany, Belgium, Norway, Israel, Côte d'Ivoire, I'm horrible with pronouncing country names, Singapore, Senegal, Lebanon, yeah, that one, Canada, Brazil, Colombia, Palau, Sierra Leone, Suriname, and United Arab Emirates, and India and New Zealand as well. So my YouTube channel has kind of gone on to a global scale. These are not I'd say probably about between 5 and 10 people from each of those countries have watched my videos, and the majority, I'd say probably 90% of my audience is, actually no, 80% is United Kingdom, 5% is the United States of America, 5% is Russia, so I have a lot of people in Russia watch my videos, and then the 10% is the rest of the world. So it's 85, 5, 10, which is, yeah 20. My maths, yeah. So like that has made me even more confident, because I've got people around the world that have never even met me, like ever in a million years, constantly coming to watch my channel. And you know, to have like nearly 2,000 views, to have nearly 80 subscribers, like that, we're now on the potential of like something turning into a career. Like, I'm not making money from this. This is literally just a job that I have given myself, and basically I'm doing it because there's an audience out there that want to see good content and are coming back for more. So I'm supplying my content to an audience, and that is why in partake this has been my job. But I'm not getting money from it at the minute, and money is not an issue at this stage. But I want to get into a position where I can, you know, make a healthy, sustainable living from doing YouTube. Like, that is the dream right now. And right now, you know, what if we could get to 5,000 views and 100 subscribers? That's the next milestone, and then it would be 10,000 views and then 1,000 subscribers. If I can get 10,000 views and just 1,000 subscribers, I will be literally, like, people say you have made it when you hit 1 million. If you hit 1,000 YouTube views, that kind of is the signal that this is kind of starting and turning into, you know, a full-time job for you. I mean, we've got a long way to go yet, and don't get me wrong, there are so many other YouTubers out there that are better than me, that have got, you know, a much wider and bigger audience. But I've only been doing it 3 months, and the fact that we are kind of at, I would say, the first, like, there's 4 milestones that I thought I'd never hit. 50 subscribers, 1,000 views, and we've hit both of those. Now I want to get 100 subscribers and 5,000 views, and then if I can get 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 views, if we can get to that 4th milestone, then this will become my full-time job, and we've already hit 2 of them. I didn't think I would hit 1, let alone hitting 2. Like, it just means the absolute world to me, and you guys have got me into this position. You know, the dedication and the support that you have given me has been like one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen, you know, absolutely ever. And I mean, I've said I love watching movies, I love listening to music, I love gaming, I love football, but I've never loved anything as much as I have doing YouTube. Like, the feeling that I get from doing YouTube, and, you know, kind of what's the word I'm looking for, like the drive and determination I get is something that I've never ever felt ever before in my life. Like, you know, recording, when things go wrong, it's a nuisance. Editing is the most strenuous part and the longest part of any part of YouTube. Like, the editing phase of, you know, taking this raw footage of audio and visuals and putting it all together and adding corrective and creative edits. Like, that bit is strenuous, but like the greatest moment is when you've uploaded a video onto YouTube and you're getting like the views coming in, and you're getting feedback and support from your audience, and it's the greatest thing ever. And literally, I've never loved anything as much as I have like doing this right now. And obviously, I mean, like with any job, there's highs and lows, as I've just said, when editing doesn't go to plan, and obviously when, you know, you're trying to record something. Like, there's been moments where I'm literally sitting there saying, okay, we are recording, this is the Bagpuss DJ show, and I'm like, what have I just said? I need to stop recording and go again. Luckily, normally when I get into it, and if I get past like 10 minutes, like the rest of it like kind of just flows out, really. And even if I make a little bit of a fluff, then I just correct myself and laugh it off, because we're all human, we all do it, particularly if it's, you know, it's like when it's hot outside, or when I'm not feeling very well. You know, if I'm not at the 100% sharpest, then obviously mistakes will be made. And you know, there are moments where you have an idea for a video or an idea in editing that you want to do, and for some reason you just can't do it. And those moments are a little bit annoying. I think that the low bit of YouTube is the, like, when it's hot outside, or when I'm not feeling very well. You know, if I'm not at the 100% sharpest, then obviously mistakes will be made. And you know, there are moments where you have an idea for a video or an idea in editing that you want to do, and for some reason you just can't do it. And those moments are a little bit annoying. I think that the major is sometimes when things that you've planned don't go according to plan is the most annoying thing possible. And that goes with anything really, and all the points that I've just mentioned, when those don't go to plan, it can be really annoying. And not even I've had a couple of negative comments here and there, but you're putting yourself out there, which means that you have to understand that there is going to be people that are not going to enjoy what you do, or disagree with how you're doing it. And as long as they're not being nasty or cruel or abusing me, not because of my content but abusing me personally, then it's absolutely fine. Majority, I've had probably 90% positive comments and 10% negative. But as a YouTuber, the negative points that I get enhance me as a YouTuber. They cascade me up to becoming something, to be someone better, and to be someone that can grow and adapt as a YouTuber. The first ever podcast that I did, DJ Bagpuss' Love for Music, literally I watched that back recently, and it is the worst video that I've ever done, ever. It's horrible. I remember getting a negative comment from a guy that says it's just 45 minutes of a, what did he say? He said it was like a unblinding, a bad screenshot with unblinding words, and my tone in my voice was so dull. It was only one. Did he want to talk to me like this? Did he want me to do a podcast like this? I don't know. What was that? Seriously, what was that? But incidentally, he was right. It is an awful video. I chop out every time I said so I sat there like a robot. It was an awful video. It was an absolutely a sham of a video. But ironically, that was the video that has got the most views ever on my YouTube channel. And that also brings me nicely on to talk about the views, because as I said, I didn't think I'd get more than 10 views per video, and I thought 10 views were amazing. But I've never ever thought about that, because my first two videos hit 100. We're now in a position when we normally get between 50, or maybe not 50, 20 to 300 views, depending on the video. And I kind of put my views into 3 categories, because this also means that it gives me an indication of what people enjoy. Because obviously, the more views you have, the more enjoyable the video was to that person, or your channel's fan base likes that type of video more. Case in point, right? The Arsenal-Chelsea FA Cup final preview wasn't an episode of DJ Bagpuss Show, but it was recorded in this studio featuring Ashley Harris. We did that the week of the FA Cup final, and it started quite slowly. It was quite a slow start, and then in 48 hours it got 70 views. So it went from 31 views to 102, and it currently is still right now it's on 170 views. Now that kind of makes me think, Jesus, wow, that video, wow, has done amazing. And it's kind of surprising that the videos that you think every video is going to do okay, but there are some videos that obviously do better than the others. But the ones that do better than the others are kind of the videos that I didn't anticipate, being better than their predecessor. So I kind of, as I said, I classed videos in 3 sorts of views. I now set myself that I want an absolute minimum of 10 views. Now you're comparing it to the YouTubers that have got 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 views. I've only got 80 subscribers, so quite that 80 subscribers is kind of, the statistics are not going to be in the thousands, because I only have 80 subscribers at this stage. So it's kind of, I have to, the level of subscribers is kind of if the number's more, then sometimes that's not even a positive, because if you've got more views than actual subscribers, it means that even though people are watching, they don't want to subscribe to your channel. But obviously the more views and subscribers you have, or the more subscribers that you have, it equates to kind of the more views you necessarily will get. But that isn't always a true reflection, really. But yeah, if I get less than 10 views, then the video was an absolute sham. It was a nightmare. It was a video that nobody liked whatsoever, and luckily I've never ever had that. I think the lowest views I've ever had was 13, 14 views, which really kind of, that was the lowest views I've ever had. So kind of 10 views is the minimum. We normally hit that in around the first kind of hour of the video. Then kind of the average, I would say, is between 20 and 45. Now these are the type of videos which they did alright, they didn't do amazing, they were kind of average style videos, and there's been a couple like the movie podcast kind of got around that. Trying to think, there wasn't actually many that got, a couple of the Q&A with the DJs got that. Trying to think also. Probably like the thank you for 50 subscribers. One of the video game episodes, like the Ultimate Call of Duty quiz, got around about 30 views. So these are the type of videos that did okay. They didn't do amazing, but they weren't bad. They did all right. I then class good videos between 45 and 70 views. Now these are the videos that did good. These were good videos. My bullying podcast, my football podcast, my Origins of DJ Bagpuss podcast, my Arsenal Chelsea vlog. That actually, I think that even got even more, to be fair, because it got around about 50 views, and then I had to take it down because of the complication. It has about 30, so add those together, it got about 80 views. So that actually did really well. But between 50 and kind of 70 kind of videos that did good, that had good videos. Then you've got videos that were really good. Like these are the ones between, I'd say, 86 and 100. So the life of Ben Gurney, my FIFA 17 pack opening, my extreme penalty shootout has got between that bracket, and these were videos that did very well. And then you've got videos that are like the euphoric videos. These are the greatest videos I've ever done. So drinking challenge, extreme Q&A with the DJ, the first episode of Bagpuss Uncut. I had a feeling that was going to do all right. It ends up with 125 views, so it's my fourth highest, most popular video on my YouTube channel. Then obviously you've got the Welcome to the DJ Bagpuss Show announcement video. That was the very first video I ever did. The music podcast, the opening episode of DJ Bagpuss Show was first, but I had to take that down because of a copyright problem. So that then it was brought back up. And then the Arsenal Chelsea FA Cup preview got 170 views, and obviously my most popular video was the music podcast, which was my love for music. So kind of I split my views into 4 different categories now because of the success. So, and we normally average around about between 50 views to 300. That's kind of the average normally. So the views are steady. That's why I'm saying there's potential for the channel to grow, because we have evidence that it could take off even further as we go down the line, really. I also have enjoyed branching into different avenues. Like, I started doing a gaming video, which I didn't have proper gaming equipment. I had to make do. I said I was, I'm like the kid with the world-class sneakers, but he has shoes that are good enough to get him from A to B. We have, equipment just as able to do a successful pack opening, and going into like real life football videos and doing football vlogs. And kind of my channel recently has kind of been purely down to football, and kind of doing different things has also allowed me to grow and develop. I also, like, my last 2 videos were kind of R-rated videos, and I mean, something that someone asked me, they said that, is this your channel going to descend into an adults only kind of channel? And it depends really on the type of video. Like the 2 videos that got rated R basically, or kind of the 15 rated videos, if you like, even though I didn't age restrict them, I just put a strong warning at the start, was the ones that I had my mates on, because obviously when you're in a group of lads, swearing is just a part of everyday life. And I always feel like, you never know who is at the other end of the camera, and I wouldn't just swear to a random stranger. But there are circumstances, like the last podcast I did, the aim of that was to play games that were extreme and had offensive humour and strong language. Like, that was like the joke of it. Like, the gag on that was because that is what the episode was about, playing kind of games that were quite extreme. So like, I feel like it's to do with the circumstance. Like, the real life football video had swearing in it because my mates missed a penalty or wanted to make a joke, or if the opposing player on the penalty shootout saved it, then that was that is going to obviously encounter a little bit of swearing. So I think it depends really. Like, some videos will have that, and obviously I always put a warning at the start, but I feel like my channel isn't going to be every single video is going to be having strong language in it, because like I mean, I do swear from time to time, I'm not going to lie, I do swear from time to time, but particularly, I normally do that when I'm with friends, or and kind of with family as well. That's when everyone just loosens up a little bit, and I wouldn't just swear to random strangers. Some videos will be family friendly, and most of my videos will be, but there will be exceptions where strong language does fall into the channel, and I don't think that's a bad thing, because if it's like with anything, when you're watching like a horror movie, like the violence in that horror movie is appropriate because it's a horror movie. Like, if I'm doing a video like a real life football video or a gaming video where something bad happens, then swearing at times can be actually appropriate to it. So I feel like that is kind of the reason why I branched into that category. Need some water as well because my mouth is very, very dry. Final half an hour of the DJ Bagpuss Show to come. So yeah, it's kind of like that was kind of the reason why those two videos were the R-rated videos, because it was appropriate to have that in the video. So that is kind of me talking about my thoughts and feelings on my YouTube life. So now I'm gonna talk about my favourite moments of the season, and also look at what you guys said were your favourite moments of the season, and also give you guys some advice on if you are looking to start YouTube, and finally ending on Q&A with the DJ. So if you're enjoying the season finale, smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Now, I put out what was I saying there? I put out a tweet on Twitter, and this tweet was a vote. So I asked you guys what was your favourite episode of the DJ Bagpuss Show. Now, I put it into 8 categories: so school, bullying awareness, football, love for music, remixing Ben Gurney, movies, video games. So love for music got no votes, like it got 0%, which is ironic because that was the most popular video on my YouTube channel, but obviously people enjoyed other episodes more. Movies also got 0%, although some people, this is just specific to the people that voted on Twitter. This isn't just a general kind of a general correlation of data from people. This is just specific to a couple of people that actually voted last night on my Twitter. And school also got 0% as well. Now, remixing and Ben Gurney got 33%. So people who voted on this poll, enjoyed me talking about my specific love for remixing, and Clubland as well. And people really did enjoy the interview with Ben Gurney. Like the Ben Gurney interview actually really, really well. Both of these got 50%, so basically a joint second. So remixing Ben Gurney came in third. A joint second was bullying awareness and football. So that got 50% each. So my football video, my football podcast with Ashley Harris, the Premier League season review, and also the bullying awareness, which again was a horrible video to do, but 50% you guys really enjoyed that. And we got some emails from people that wanted to get advice from me, and I did help a couple of people who watched that episode, so that was absolutely amazing. But the winner, actually, surprisingly, was video games, and this is very, very very interesting, because my video game episode was the one that got the lowest amount of views on my YouTube channel, so it's odd that. But everyone's preference is sort of it's different. Do you know what I mean? what one person enjoys as an episode, one person might not necessarily enjoy. Like, some people enjoy one episode rather than the other. Personally, for me, if you ask me what were my favourite, like, moments and episodes of the season were, I mean, I've loved every single episode. I'd say probably my favourite episode was, I loved doing the football podcast with Ashley Harris. That was such an intellectual and really kind of good debate that we had on football, and that was really, really enjoyable. I also enjoyed, I didn't enjoy doing the bullying podcast, but it was really helpful for people who needed that help. I would say also, I enjoy doing the origin. I'm literally just going to list off all of my podcast episodes. I like doing the origins of DJ Bagpuss Show. I mean, if you said to me, if I had to pick one podcast as my favourite, I think it was the football podcast. I mean, it was such a great debate that was thrown out, and my love for football, Ashley's love for football, and I just really enjoyed doing that episode, and kind of just that record. I mean, that was the quickest podcast I've ever done. I mean, this one's actually flown by, but it was such a really, really enjoyable episode to do, because we would just do what we normally do every single week, having breakfast or in our college class, talking about football, and everyone really enjoyed. Do you mind shouting when I'm doing a recording, please? People outside, man. But yeah, I really enjoy that episode, and I'd say probably the least favourite moment of the season. I mean, as I said, I really enjoyed doing the bullying kind of podcast, but because it helped a lot of people out there that needed help. But I kind of think to myself that it was such a negative video, and I always like my videos to be positive. As I said before, I've always felt that if you're feeling upset or sad, you can come onto my channel and forget all of your own problems and demons and just sit back and relax. So that was the only kind of episode that was negative, and I don't really want to do anything negative, but it was important to be negative in that episode. So that was probably the only kind of least favourite moment that I've had. I also just want to say thank you to the guests, the people who have come onto the DJ Bagpuss Show. So Luke Bonner, Adam Whiting, Christopher O'Bray were absolutely brilliant in last week's episode. They were really funny. They were quite hesitant and nervous of doing that podcast, particularly as they didn't know what they were going to talk about for an hour and a half, but they really enjoyed it, and it was a really funny episode. Ashley Harris, who, I mean, he got me nearly over 200 views, and he really was good speaking. He could easily do anything like this right now, any type of podcast. He was a really good speaker, and he created a really good debate, and you guys really seemed to enjoy the dialogue that me and him formed together, and then the dialogue that we threw out to you as well. But there's one person that needs to have a special recognition, not just for how he's helped me as a person to get to this stage in my college course, but to get me to this position now. I mean, without him, none of this would be possible, and that is Ben Gurney. This was the person that you saw was my very first guest on the DJ Bagpuss Show. Episode 3 was recorded on the 31st of March 2017, the day of Red Nose Day, when I was in the onesie. I'm literally getting people now telling me to put on the onesie. Can you not? Can you not? I didn't want to wear the onesie, so I did that for a good cause. We actually raised some money as well, which is also amazing. But he's taught me, he's given me advice, he's helped me out in moments that I need it. All of this has been my own work, but he's given me advice if and when I've needed it, and he has been so lenient in allowing me to do this, as well as doing my college work. There's some people out there that would not let you do that, and I spoke about that. Ben, as long as you meet him halfway and put in the work, then he will help you to develop your own skills, and he's given me access to the studio. He's allowed me to use a camera and a microphone. Also, a guy called Ken as well, I want to make a special mention to allow me to use the camera each week to be able to portray the DJ Bagpuss Show as a face cam. But I mean, all of these, but Ben has allowed me to come in, when I've not had lessons, to keep up with the editing side, so be able to keep up with the job of my college work, and also be able to keep up with maintaining and running this channel. he has been such a huge help to me. Like, it has been absolutely amazing, and without him I wouldn't be where I was today. Like, I wouldn't be as confident, I wouldn't be in this position where I'm potentially about to do this as a full-time job, and this could start my career. You know, it's absolutely mind-blowing. So I want to say thank you so much, Ben Gurney, for everything that you have given me in order to help me expand and develop this YouTube channel. And just, you know, finally, before I give advice to you guys, once again, you guys have done so much, you know, by watching the video, supporting me, you know, giving me feedback, you know, telling me what I'm doing well, you know, giving me areas to improve, and overall just being here each week watching my videos. You know, you don't know how much it means. You know, you might just be sitting there thinking, I'm just watching a video, but it means the absolute world, each and every one of you. And you know, all 1,430 of you that have watched the DJ Bagpuss Show, and all 1,716 of you that have actually watched my entire YouTube channel. Like, all of you have been amazing, and you have put me in a very lucky position. You know, I'm not the best YouTuber. I must be doing something right. I feel like I'm good at what I do, but like, you know, there's so many better people out there than me. And like, you know, I've always thought to myself, why would anybody watch me? But you have believed me that I must be doing something right. So thank you so much to that. And I'm gonna reward you before we go on to Q&A with the DJ to finish off the series. I'm gonna give you guys some advice out there for any of you that want to get into YouTube, because something that I've kind of noticed myself is like with YouTube, like as I said earlier, there are so many people out there that do YouTube. Like, where YouTube was 10 years ago to where it is now, it is very hard to get noticed and actually to start a following, a fan base. You know, everyone dreams of being where their favourite YouTubers are, with millions of subscribers, millions of views, and actually, you know, being able to sustain a healthy living doing that, and you know, having all of the perks that you get from doing YouTube. But it is hard out there. You know, you're not just going to get, unless you do a video that goes viral, unless you're lucky, you know, you're not, you know, the probably the 5% of people that start YouTube are lucky. The 95% have to put in hard work, and it's a little bit of hard work. Even if you get lucky, you've got to put hard work in to sustain the audience that you've got from just one video that does incredibly well and brings you the audience. So once you get the audience, you've got to make sure that you keep up regularly with content to make sure that you don't lose them, because just how hard it is to build up a fan base and followers and basically get people to subscribe and check out the channel on a regular basis. Like, it is so easy just to lose them like that. You know, like with a snap of your fingers, they will be gone. That was the worst kind of click I ever did in the world, Jesus. But yeah, so like, advice I would give to you is that, and kind of something that I think is the major thing that you need, is that you have to be unique. And you might hear loads of YouTubers say this, but I'm gonna I said kind of. We're right at the end, boys. We're right at the end, you know, to kind of elaborate on this matter, is that you've got to do something that, you know, no one else is doing to a certain extent. Like, for me, I'm doing a podcast. There are so many other podcasters out there, but the DJ Bagpuss Show is unique to me. You know, it's talking about my life, it's my own show, and you can't see it anywhere else on YouTube. So you got to find something that is unique to you. You know, something that sets you, you know, apart from the millions of people out there trying to crack it on YouTube. You have got to like do something that is unique to you, and being unique, you've also got to do something that you enjoy. Yeah, mostly you've got to do something that you enjoy, you know, doing. You know, something that, like, if you're a gamer, you need to set up like a gaming channel, but that is unique, that you maybe do a game that not many people are playing. Or if you're a reviewer, you're reviewing stuff that nobody else is reviewing. Or if you're doing a podcast, you're doing a podcast that not every other person is talking. So for example, talking about politics, like, there were so many podcasts about that when the results of the general election were announced. But so you need to do something that maybe someone talk about the life of Theresa May. Like, for example, there's probably loads of videos out there about her, but something that is rare on YouTube. Because if you do something like that and you do something well, you'll start getting in a fan base and a following. And once you've got that fan base and following, that is when you can do stuff that lots of other people are doing. So, for me, I've done the DJ Bagpuss Show, and that has brought in a moderately small fan base. And I've got subscribers from that. Now, because I've got them, I can start doing gaming videos, football vlogs, stuff that you have seen lots of times on YouTube. Because I've got my own fan base and following, I'm not doing it. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to do it to add to that, but the first bulk of it are already there because of the podcast. So, rather than me, if I started doing football vlogs and doing stuff that you've seen a million times on YouTube, would I have had as many views and subscribers as I have now in this short space of time? I remember there's been YouTubers that even after 6 months have about 20 views to 20 subscribers. So we're in a much luckier position, being perfectly honest. So that is my first point. You've got to do something that is unique to you. You've got to do something that sets you apart from the crowd. And you've also got to do stuff that you enjoy. Nobody wants to see someone do a video going, "Hello there. So in today's video we're going to be doing," no one wants to see that. Someone wants to see a bit of enthusiasm and drive and get into the spirit of the video. Like with these podcasts, I try to be as animated as possible. I try to show as much expression and emotion as I possibly can, because then it hopefully makes you guys to feel how I'm feeling right now. I kind of try and get that across. So if you're gaming, vlogging, podcasting, whatever you want to do, you've got to do something that you enjoy and something that you feel passionate about, because then people, you can't fake passion. People will see straight through you. So you've got to do something that really does, generally and realistically makes you believe that this is a good thing. And lastly, you've got to put in just hard work and dedication. You don't need to spend thousands of pounds of equipment. Obviously, the better equipment that you have, the better your videos will be. And nobody wants to see rubbish quality content. But all you need is, everyone nowadays has got an iOS or a computer with a camera built into it. All you need is that, and you need basic editing software. So if you're on a Mac, iMovie will do the job for you to get you up to professional level. Software like Filmora or even Windows Movie Maker, you don't need to have extensive and complex editing software and recording gear to do well on YouTube. All you need is either a good camera or to do kind of stuff which or you just need to do stuff which is necessarily completely lost my train of thought there. You kind of need to just have basic recorded equipment which is going to do the job for you incidentally. That is just going to get your videos out to a good quality. So 720p HD, decent sounding audio and good background music, and you're there. And that kind of will put you in good stead for moving on to bigger and better things. And once you start doing this full-time job, then you can upgrade and enhance your gear, but you just need basic stuff. So being unique, being passionate and hardworking and dedicated, and also having just equipment good enough to do the job. Having those 4 things, as well as having ideas and ensuring that you plan and prepare your videos, you're being in a great position to do YouTube basically. So we're nearly at the end of the series. We're going to end the series though on Q&A with the DJ for the final time this season. So the first question is sent in by, come on phone. The first question is sent in by SAADAQ, so Sadik 1999, and he says, "My favourite podcast was the bullying episode, and I look forward to more podcasts. #DJ Bagpuss Show final." Thank you very much, firstly, Sadiq, for your comment and for the support that you've shown for the episodes so far and the season as a whole. The bullying episode was really difficult to do and to film, but overall I really enjoyed, helping out people that needed it, and the support that people showed, and the fact that we helped people in need was absolutely amazing. And yep, there will be some great podcasts coming in the future, so stay tuned, and thank you once again for your dedication and support on the channel. Next question comes in from Luke Haywood, and he says, my favourite podcast is episode 4 movie podcast. It was very interesting. He'd like to see another group podcast with a group of mates. Yeah, I mean, obviously episode 9 was the Extreme Games, where I got my friends to come on to the series, and I really enjoyed doing that podcast. And in the future, yes, I will try and get more mates on and try to do those group podcasts where we can talk about funny, serious stuff and stuff that people just enjoy generally. But for the meantime, that will be surely a consideration to do in the future. But the one that I just did right now, really enjoyable. And if you enjoy that one, you can go back to relive that one as well. Remember, all episodes are in the description below. Not alone. What am I talking about? I really don't know. Next question is sent in by Tamara, and she says, the football podcast was my favourite. I need to perhaps do giveaways to gain more views and to offer rewards for my fan base. So this is something that I definitely will take into consideration, because firstly, thank you as well for the support that you showed on the series, as well to Luke Haywood. Thank you for the support you showed on the series. I hope you enjoy what is to come as well. But yeah, I mean, giveaways are certainly something that I will try and do in the future, but I think at this particular moment I'm kind of just happy to get kind of feedback, and if I was going to do giveaways, it's got to be related to that intended episode, and maybe the more further we go down the line, that could be something to come into place, to start doing maybe potentially competition. I've got a new series on the forefront this winter where giveaways will be part of it, so stay tuned for that. And finally, the final question from Joe Ferrari says, my favourite video was definitely your recent video, your pedigree shootout video. It looked like a tremendous amount of effort and it paid off. In the future, I want to see more vlog style videos, see what you do on a day-to-day basis. Well, thank you very much, James, for the support on the series, and also to show... Sorry, my camera is literally about to die. Thank you for the support that you showed on the series so far, and I hope you enjoyed the series. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying more vlogs, so stay tuned this summer, and also look forward to, as I'm going to be definitely doing more vlogs, and you'll be able to see what those vlogs are. But that is the end of the season. I will be doing potentially another video where I get your thoughts and feedback. So for the first time ever in the history of the DJ Bagpuss Show, my camera actually decided to be a bit rude to me and run out of memory and actually stop recording. So brought my final, montage of the DJ Bagpuss Show, the final bit that I was going to say to you guys, to a grinding halt. So I have to do that now in a post-com, and I will take you now directly to that. So, yeah, apologies about that. Camera, I can't believe you being so rude to me. God damn it. Let's get into the final scene of the DJ Bagpuss Show season finale. So that is the end of the season. My camera literally ran out of recording space as I came to the ending of that video. Of course, it was going to happen in the last episode. We've never had a problem of the camera running out of recording space until the very last episode. So apologies for that. I literally had to bring the recording to a grinding halt and stop before I went into the outro. I also had to quickly rush Q+A With The DJ a little bit. I didn't really want to do that, but I will also address more of those questions in a video to come in the next couple of weeks as well, so don't worry about that. Apologies once again for that. But that is the end of the season. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you that has clicked on and watched the DJ Bagpuss Show Season 1. It has been an absolute honour and privilege. If you've just watched 2 minutes to 2 hours of the video, then I'll be absolutely over the moon. Literally your support, even if it has been from very, very small to watching every single minute of every single episode, it has been absolutely just a joy, and thank you so much. Your support, dedication means the absolute world to me. There's a lot of great content to come this summer, so stay tuned on my YouTube channel, and we're also going to be doing some bonus content for the DJ Bagpuss Show in the next couple of weeks as I say goodbye to this lovely studio. But this is the final podcast in this studio. Blimey, 10 episodes. We're right at the end of the season. If you enjoyed the season, enjoyed this episode, hit a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, turn on my notifications, all that good stuff. This is DJ Bagpuss signing out, and I'm going to leave you with something very, very special. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the entire season on my YouTube channel if you've missed it, and I shall speak to you all later. Take care, and for the last time this season, I'm signing out. Goodbye.